Good evening. This is the Londonderry Town Council meeting for Monday, December 1st, 2025. Could everyone please stand for the pledge? Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, first up this evening, we have a very special presentation. We're going to present the Boston Post cane. The Boston Post cane tradition began in 1909, where the Boston Post newspaper distributed gold-headed canes to 700 towns across New England, each asking communities to present the cane to the oldest living resident. Londonderry has carried on the custom for over a century, using it to recognize and honor the town's most senior citizen. It is our honor tonight to present Londonderry's Boston Post cane to Miss Fortin. Miss Fortin has lived in Londonderry since 1948, raised her family here, and had a business in town. Many say she's the kindest woman you will ever meet. Cecile was born on September 4th, 1925, the year she turned 100 years old. The town of Londonderry is honored to present Miss Fortin with Londonderry's Boston Post cane this evening. And Cecile, Miss Fortin, if you would come up, I would love to present it to you. Yeah.
Need that, I got you.
Oh, I was gonna come to you. They want a picture, so we just gotta. Want to do it this way, or?
You can hit him with it if you'd like.
She's the nicest person. She would
I
do
know,
that.
I know.
Oh, when is this?
That's okay. I'll get it after Deb. I like to do
And then
that
we'll
this
go.
way. I'm sorry, just in
Okay.
case. Sorry. Thank you.
And then we'll do one over here.
Put it down.
All right. With that, I'll open public comment.
Oh, no problem. No?
Oh, fuck you. We're heading out. Thank you.
You don't want to be here, it's only my.
Good evening, Maura. How are you?
I am well, and yourself?
Good.
You want me to wait a second?
Yeah. That's fine.
Ready?
Ready.
My name is Maura Ryan. I live at 2 Snowberry Hollow in Londonderry. I have a question. I got my tax bill recently, obviously, and I was looking at it, and I noticed, or I got some phone calls because the disabled veteran credit was not increased per the July vote for it to go into effect August 1st. And so I wanted to follow up and find out. I was told that it's not going into effect until July 2026. And I wanted to find out who made that decision and why the vote wasn't upheld.
Do we have an answer to that, sir?
Yes, so the tax year starts on the 1st of April, whatever the assessed valuations, whatever the exemptions are that are filed by the deadlines that are listed in statute. So that's how the taxes are set for this particular year. It'll take effect next year after the council took the action that you took in accordance with the statute. So that's the process.
Okay, the law went into effect on July 2025, and you guys voted to put that into effect August 2025. So I am here to protest because I disagree with leaving it to the next year, because the law also took away other things from veterans, which means that it did them damage and harm. So I 100% disagree. I think we need to support our veterans. You guys voted to do that, which I appreciate, but then it got turned around and it did not happen as promised. So I don't think that that was the right thing to do. And I ask you to look into that and try and find out how that happened.
Good. I will do that. Thank you, Maura. Anybody else in public comment? Ray, how are you?
Ray Brusden, 3 Gary Drive. I'm not sure, I don't want to take up much time, but I'm not even sure what you all going to be discussing. I know we're having some input from the Budget Committee, and how we spend the money is really important. And we got to decide what the priorities are, what the needs are of the town, and in regards to the warrant article, which I haven't seen yet, I think we got to really look at what they're going to be, how many they're going to be, and what the amount is, and where the money is coming from. Most important, because we have a lot going on in this town, a lot coming forward, and unfortunately, to a certain degree, some of our regulations, if we have any, are not up to date. We're having the state tell us what we can and cannot do, and certainly we have to go by the RSAs. That's understandable. But I think it's so important that we have input in regards to how the money is being spent, and have the general public fully informed as to what's going on. So hopefully we will pay attention and we will hear more. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you, Ray. Anybody else? Good evening, Dennis.
Dennis Martin, 182 Pillsbury Road, Londonderry, New Hampshire. I'm here for the same reason. I want to know that we didn't get the $5,000 off of disabled veterans, and who made the decision to do that. If the RSA, if it was voted in July and it was put in for August to take effect, it should have taken effect for this coming taxes for December. So who made the decision? Does anybody know?
I told Maura I'd find out and investigate it for her.
The New Hampshire legislature and the governor signed that bill into law, so you could talk to them about that.
What's that?
New Hampshire legislature passed that bill, as you indicated, and the governor signed it, so they are the folks who passed that law.
No, I understand that. I know that. But it was voted in July here to take effect August.
No, it was not voted in to take effect in August. No, it was not.
It's in the minutes. Okay.
Dennis, I'll get back to you with an answer.
Okay,
I'll
thank you.
personally call you.
All righty.
All right. Anybody else for public comment? How are you, sir?
Good, how you doing? Alan Roy, Charlie Carr Lane. I just wanted to read a statement here. I wrote a letter to the editor in the Londonderry Times a few weeks ago about Virginia's All Persons Trail in Pelham. It was nice to see people come together to preserve some of our Pelham's history. I just want to talk a little bit about Londonderry, concerned about the planning board and about what's been going on in town. I haven't seen a lot of growth here. When Londonderry was settled, linen became the basic industry here in Londonderry in the 1700s. The Patterson Homestead, they made linen that was said to be worn by Presidents George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. Unfortunately, in circa 1729, it was destroyed by a fire. The early settlers also brought apple trees to Londonderry, and by the 1800s, Londonderry became known for farming many varieties of apples. Londonderry was a farming town, and those apple orchards are slowly being wiped out. A couple of weeks ago, I was at a meeting here, and I saw a survey that was done by the SNHPC, the Southern New Hampshire Planning Commission, and the results showed that roughly 80% of the people who submitted in the survey, and a lot of the people during that meeting we're against the growth that we're seeing. Our town is allowing huge apartment complexes and businesses to be built, some of them with tax breaks, while really not giving us taxpayers anything for our money except more traffic and crime. And you recently increased our taxes on our homes as well, which really, you raise the cost of the value of our homes. That's not nothing until we sell it. It just gives us a bigger bill every year. In the last 15 years, Londonderry police logs have each year have shown an increase in arrests, calls for suspicious activity and criminal mischief. There are roughly 8 to 15 arrests a week. Actually, last July, because I submitted a letter to you guys, last July we went up as 17 arrests. I did a 5-year span, 2015, 20, and 25, same week each year, and showed an increase every time. So you got to ask yourself which ones got away with crimes if they're getting that many arrests. So when you, town councilors, vote for people on the planning board, those people should not be the same ones that have been on the board or sat on the town council as a member and voted for the change that we're experiencing. They should not be someone who is happy about the changes that we're experiencing. If someone wants a city experience, they should just move out of Londonderry. They should move out and go get their city experience and not bring their views and put it upon everyone else here. And just a couple more things here. At the end of Virginia's All Persons Trail, I wrote, go to Virginia's All Persons Trail, where not only a part of New Hampshire history is not forgotten, but you also are not forgotten. And that seems like that's what's happening here in Londonderry. We're being forgotten. Our history is being wiped out. Our apple orchards are being wiped out and replaced with apartment buildings. That does no good for anybody. The more population you bring in, the more crime you have. And thank God our police are catching everybody, but do we really want to live like that? I moved out of East Boston. My wife and I came about 15 years ago from East Boston to live in a nice little town. I used to joke back then that reading through police logs, smashing pumpkins was the biggest crime. Now I'm seeing 15 arrests. We're coming to 2 elections, 2026 and 2027. One of them will be town council, the other one will be town clerk and town moderator. So for the Londonderry voters, are you going to who have been changing our town, or are you going to change the course that they set us on? Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else for public comment? Seeing none, I will close public comment. I will accept a motion to accept the resignation of Tiffany Maccarelli, thank you, from the Conservation Commission.
So moved.
Second.
By Sean, second by Ted. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes in the affirmative. Tiffany, thank you for your service. Up next, we're going to do interviews for the boards, committees, and commissions that we have open. Up first, I have Victoria Kimbler. Is Victoria here? Okay. All right. Rick Pierce, Old Home Day. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, and
You
you?
want to make an opening statement and the council ask questions?
Opening statement.
Or tell us a little about yourself. And
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm been in Londonderry for 6 years now. I'm just recently retired, and I'm looking for some places to redirect my free time. The town seemed like a good place. I've done a lot of volunteer work on my days, and so volunteering to help out seemed like a good way to do it. I worked with Kristen a lot during trying to get the Old Home Day slot there, and she was fantastic. One of the things she did helping me out was kind of make me promise to help her out if this this slot opened up. And I said, I'll gladly do that. And so that's why I'm here tonight.
Excellent. Any questions from the council?
Anything. Open book.
But I have a question. We have some, obviously, 3, 2, and 1 year. Do you have a preference on the term we select?
Whatever's most needed. If no one steps forward for one or the other, I'll do what's needed.
Okay.
Can you tell me a bit more about the other boards that you've served on?
Sure. Most recently was on a charity in Nashua called SCARE, which stands for Secondhand Costume Annual Redistribution Effort, a long-winded way of saying they give away free costumes to people who can't afford to buy them, because Halloween is a big passion of mine, and that seemed like a natural fit. Did a lot of organization with distribution points. And then we took the costumes, some 2,500, into our home for storage to get it out of the dirt basement they were stored in previously. So that was the last one.
And you're involved with the 2020 Vision Quest?
2020 Vision Quest is an organization that for 10 years worked to raise money annually for the New Hampshire Association for the Blind and the National Guide Dog Institute. And the last year that I was involved with that, before it closed, they raised $50,000 for each of those organizations. I was on the technical aspect of the, technical aspect of that board, making sure everything ran well at their annual auction dinner.
Wonderful.
Any other questions? Good. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have a little bit of a throat thing going on.
No problem.
So being on all these boards that you've been on, you have a little bit of experience with nonprofits and understand what you need to do in order to keep your nonprofit in check and things that have to be done that way?
I've never had formal training on that. I would
Right,
love
but-
that. We've never run into conflict on anything, so I'm assuming we've been doing things right. We've been filing the paperwork required.
Okay. There is a course you can take for free if you go to Concord and look it up.
I have a lot more time on my hands now. I'll
Well, I mean,
probably
you can
do
do
that.
it online. It's not like you got to go to Concord or anything. It's just a little bit of a summary of do's and don'ts.
Yeah.
And I just think that's important because it's such a new nonprofit that we follow the rules and,
Absolutely.
do that sort of thing. And if you ever need any help, you can always call me. I'm always willing to volunteer.
Awesome. Deb, Paul. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Next up, we have Adrian Hansen for Budget Committee and ZBA. Good evening. If you want to say a little about yourself, and then we'll ask you questions.
I've lived in Londonderry for over 25 years. I've raised my two daughters here. They both went to Londonderry High School. I'm at a point in my life where I'd like to give back to my community. I've kind of always wanted to do this. Now I have a little more free time on my hands, so I thought this would be a good. I've worked in municipal government for over 19 years, so I thought this would be a good time. So, and I could use my experience. So.
Any questions?
How familiar are you with the zoning laws of Londonderry? Have you looked at them?
I have not looked at the zoning. I have not looked at that.
Have you worked with zoning laws?
I have. I started when I first started I started off in land use and building, and so I was familiar. This was when I first started in 2006. So I was familiar with like special exceptions and the process of the ZBA. So, yeah. So.
Any other questions? Deb, go ahead.
Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer budget or zoning?
I think I'd like budget just
Okay.
because it's filling out that term, and so I can kind of get a feel for it and see if I really like it. I would also like the ZBA too, so
No, I'm just trying to. I'd rather put
Right.
somebody where they want to be. and
Yes,
what they're
yeah,
comfortable
no,
with.
I would like budget committee because again, it's just filling out that term, and then I can really get
Yeah,
a feel for it and see
yeah.
if I want to, because it's an
I
elected
appreciate that.
position.
Thank
Right,
you.
correct, yeah.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next for planning and budget, we have Denise Nash. Good evening.
Good evening.
You want to say a few words and then we'll ask you
No.
questions? Okay.
Not really. My name's Denise Nash. I've lived in Londonderry since 1997. My boys and I have twin boys and a daughter. They went partially through the school system here, but then I didn't like the way the education process was, so they went to Nashua Catholic, and then they went to Bishop Girton. I've been in healthcare compliance for over 20 years, because I'm only 29, so. But I've also been in charge of North Shore Healthcare System, which is now Partners. So I led that division up there, and then from there, I was Senior VP of Compliance for a national company that is both in the United States and overseas.
Pull the mic down, they can't hear you.
Oh.
Thank you, sorry.
I thought my voice carried enough that.
Well, it's for the people at home.
Oh,
who are
okay.
Listening intently to what you have to say.
And the reason I'm here is because I want to echo some of the comments earlier in the evening where folks don't like the way Londonderry's going. And I want to be part of the solution, and I want to understand why some of the decisions were made instead of just complaining about it. I live on Tokenell Drive, and that corridor is an accident waiting to happen. And lots of accidents have happened, including somebody striking on a utility pole and most of the neighborhood losing out on electricity, and then all the accidents that are coming out of Hannaford. And I'm waiting for a fatality before something happens that drastically changes the current trajectory of the Londonderry thinking. So I'm not sure, because I haven't been part of these meetings, but I'm not sure why some decisions were made, but to put 3 developments on one major corridor is like, and especially on a downhill trajectory where everybody speeds is just unfathomable. It just is. And so that's why I'd like to really be a part and understand first, because I've been volunteering most of my life, and I volunteered to Soup Kitchen and Dairy, and I used to be, for 20 years, I was on the board of Hillsborough. It's a camp for adults, young adults and adults with developmental disabilities. And I was part of I was on the finance committee, I was on the planning committee, I was on the programs committee, because there's short-term goals and then there's long-term goals. And you really need to hone in on what those long-term goals are, because short-term is just covering scabs with Band-Aids. But long-term, you really need to have plans in place and see a vision of where things are going for a future. In order to be adaptable and viable, you really need to have things in place that are going to come to fruition and not cause massive chaos. And so that's why I'm basically here.
Excellent. Any questions? Deb, Dan? Okay, Dan.
Go ahead, Deb.
I just wanted to applaud you for stepping up. I'm glad to see women stepping forward to be on the planning board. We don't have enough of them on there, so I'm going to sound a little chauvinistic or whatever. But I'm hoping that, since you don't know, if you should get appointed, would you be willing to take the class? And you don't have to go to Concord, but gives you a certificate of planning so that you have a good understanding of how it all works.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Dan?
So, it's like I asked other applicants last week. Londonderry currently has the developer hire a company to do a traffic study if it's required. what are your thoughts of having the developer put money in escrow with the town and have the town hire a company to do that traffic study? Thoughts on that?
I think a traffic study is warranted because for anything to have, everything requires a baseline. So to have a traffic study done is a good thing, but you're doing a traffic study after the fact. Because those developments are already in place. And what's going to come out of this? Are they going to widen Gilchrist to 5 lanes in order to accommodate what that traffic is going to look like? I heard, I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard that they're going to be putting a stop sign at, I think, at Albany or Boston, one of those. That's just going to cause accidents. People are barreling down that road. They're people that are coming out of either Albany or now the new access road from the complex that's there. What's that, Juniper? Those two are parallel. And so to do a traffic study is a good thing, but to have done a traffic study prior to the event of putting in all of these apartments and townhomes, hindsight is 20/20. I mean, you know, I think it's a good thing. I think a baseline is needed, but what's going to be the outcome? Are we going to have, I mean, we moved into town for the rural life. So now we're going to have major highways or major byways or, you know.
I think you may have misunderstood Dan's question. So it wasn't pertaining to Gilchrist Road particularly. It's for any developer that comes to town, and those traffic studies are done before things are submitted, and they're submitted with their development. Traffic studies are not done after that.
After? Yeah, I mean, I agree, yeah. Now, to go forward, any development should have a traffic study done, because the development that's going where Max Apples used to be on, what road is that? I don't know. That then there needs to be a study because you're going to have exit 4A and people are using that back road as a bypass to all of the other congestion. So I agree that there should be a study for especially there, that those 4 corners.
So let me clarify something. Do you feel that the developer should be paying for this, or do you think the town should be paying for it and the developer pays the town?
I think the developer should pay for it. I honestly there should be escrow put aside in order to do the study, and the developer should pay for anything that's implemented.
Okay, because last week when I asked this, one candidate said it all depends on what legal counsel would say. And we got clarification from our legal counsel. Town manager did provide us with that yes, we can require that the developer put the money in escrow and we handle that part of it.
Yep.
And then if we need more money, he puts more money in.
Absolutely. It should not come out of the town budget or the town payers.
Thank you.
Taxpayers.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have for Planning Board, Krista Gierney. Did I say that right? Sorry if I didn't. You want to say a couple words?
It's Guiney,
Hi.
but that's okay.
Sorry.
No worries. So yes, my name is Krista Guiney, and a little bit about me is I've lived in Londonderry for the last 8 years on Wiley Hill Road. I now have an almost 2-year-old son, and currently I serve as the Associate Director of Global Commercial Operations for Moderna in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And so really my background is in project management, as well as commercial oversight, cross-functional leadership. and all of the above that entails. And so I do feel that that is relevant skill set to attend or be a part of the planning board.
Any questions?
I'm going to say the same thing. Thanks for stepping up. It's
Sure.
nice to see a woman step up for planning board. I think there's only one on there. There's very few women that step forward for this. You do have to have an eye for detail and follow the rules, because it is a semi-judicial board. My question would you be willing to take that test to get certified as a planner, being new to it?
Yeah, absolutely. I take my professional and personal development very seriously, and I continue to strive with that in my normal day to day. So, of course, if I were to get and be a part of this, then I would do anything to help strengthen that skill set.
Full-time?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Would you be interested potentially in any of the other boards? I think Heritage Commission would also be an interesting board for you to join, as it's kind of a precursor. Their commentary leads into the planning board, and it leads into a lot of the look and feel of buildings in town and how things should, the look and feel of town. And we make those presentations on up, and a lot of times the developers really take to heart the commentary that we have, and they make those changes before they get to the planning board.
Can you just give me a little bit more insight of what the Heritage Board does, and I
Heritage
can give you an
meets,
answer?
I believe it's every other month, a Thursday night, and we take in the plans. We look at the architectures of the building, the colors that they're using. We look at, if there's any stone walls on the property, what are the windows looking like, what's the landscape on the properties, what would they look like? And I think, Heritage Commission is a good place to start and then move into planning.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I would definitely be open to anything that can kind of help build that skill set. Ultimately looking for the planning board, but yeah, if that's a good starter and that's where, best fit, then sure. Yeah.
Any other questions? Dan, go ahead.
So, Krista, very impressed with your write-up, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I took a lot of time on that, so
Yes, you did.
appreciate
I
it.
can see. Same question. I mean, Londonderry currently has a developer that developer hires the consultant to do the traffic study. And you can also have the developer put money into an account, an escrow account. And the town can do the traffic study and kind of control when the times are being monitored and everything else. What are your thoughts about that? Do you think the developer is the one that should just be taking it on himself, or should the town be involved more in overseeing traffic study?
So I'll give a little bit of background with that as well. So my husband is a union carpenter in Massachusetts, but he owns his own drywall business here in town and has done a numerous amount of projects with that. And so with that being said, the reason I preface with that is I'm well aware of kind of how the planning process goes when people are building homes, getting the property, then they build it up and then they need drywall, right? And that's part of the process. So what I would say is, yes, I do feel that should be on the developer, right? When we're purchasing a home as a private citizen, we need to pay for an inspection, right? So I guess that's part of the process. That's how I would categorize that. And so I do think they should put money in escrow and they be responsible for the compensation. However, I do feel that the town should have the right to choose who is the one that is actually doing that assessment to eliminate any bias between the developer and whomever is providing that survey.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Before we move on to the discussions, Ms. Karen, would you mind explaining what the planning board does, what they can do, what they can't do?
Sure.
More for the public so they understand. I know a lot of people in public comment are frustrated. I just would like to explain what we can and can't do on the planning board.
So the planning board is primarily governed under New Hampshire State Law 674. They're the primary land use board authority. They adopt and enforce our subdivision and site plan regulations. They also review subdivision and site plans as they come forward in accordance with those subdivision and site plan regulations as they are in effect present time. They also can request additional studies through that review process, like traffic studies, things like that we were just talking about. And ultimately, I think the biggest takeaway, and I think to answer some of the questions, is that the board functions based on, again, that state law, RSA 674, the confines within that, and then they're acting on the regulations as they are written today. They don't have the authority to go outside of those regulations. If they do that, that's where staff advises them, you're falling outside of the confines of our regulations, you're asking for things that could be viewed as illegal, essentially, that would not uphold in court. So I think, while I understand the concern about the projects and how they're being approved, it's important to understand that they're being reviewed as the regulations are written present day. So
when a developer comes to the town and all their plans are in line, they meet all the zoning regulations, they did everything correctly, the planning board cannot just say, we don't want it because we don't like it.
correct. They can't just arbitrarily deny projects because they don't dislike them personally.
They have to follow the law.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Would you also be able to just explain what the ZBA can do and what they can't do?
Sure. So the ZBA is a quasi-judicial board. They function primarily under RSA 674 and 676. They are responsible for interpreting the zoning ordinance, so that's a different set of rules and regulations from our site plan and subdivision regulations. They review applications such as variance requests, special exceptions, and the parameters, their review criteria, I should say, for such applications are, again, outlined in those state statutes that I referenced. And so it's very specific, the set of criteria that they're evaluating against, and again, that's state law. And their sole focus, again, is utilizing the zoning ordinance, not, again, separate from our site plan and subdivision regulations.
Thank you.
Sure.
Appreciate that. All right. We want to just take each board individually?
Yeah.
Would that work?
Yeah.
I'll start off because I figured there's little controversy here with the utility committee, and where I'm the liaison to it.
Oh, we're
I'd like
going
to
to utility
make some
first.
suggestions for utility.
Hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
All right, so for the 3-year term, there's 3 people. I'd like to nominate Martha Smith, John Ferrera, and Jeff McGraw. And to the 3-year alternate, Ray Breslin. To the two,
Okay.
okay, to the two, we've been doing it all together.
Okay.
Okay. To the 2-year, Paul Ramsey, Mike Speltz, and to the 2-year alternate, Joy Mueller. And then to the 1-year term, Ann Fenn, and then John Mann. And to the alternate position, Lynn Wiles.
The only one I hesitate with is Mr. Wiles, because he is going to be leaving, and I think that's unfair. He's only going to be there a half a year. He's going to be voting on things and suggesting things for a town he's not even going to live in anymore. Not that I don't think
Nope.
he would do a good job. He would. I just think it's not fair for some of the other people that are applying. You know, then we're going to have to redo this again, and whenever he leaves. So that's
I-
my own. And I
Nope.
like Lynn. It has
Nope.
nothing to do with. I'm just looking at it as a pragmatic thing.
Nope. I spoke to Lynn, and he said that he would like to see out his energy proposal that he brought forth to see it actually come to fruition. That's why he wanted to go to the 1-year alternate. So he wanted to see if he could see that project through to the end. That's why he asked to be the 1-year alternate.
So I will make a motion to accept your nominations as you.
I'll second.
Discussion, see if anybody else has anything to say.
Well, you can, yeah, feel free to discuss.
So I have a motion from Sean. Discussion.
Can I ask why
Absolutely.
Paul Ramsey over Mike Speltz? Or did I get that
Paul
wrong?
Ramsey and Mike Speltz, I both gave them the 2-year.
Oh, okay. I misheard you. Sorry.
They both work very, very well on the committee.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my only comment on Lynn is that he's been with us for a long time. As an alternate, that maybe, that would help move things along. That's what I'm thinking.
I was also thinking with
I
Lynn.
didn't know he was gonna stay for a
whoever-
year. I thought he was
Whoever
leaving.
becomes chair, he could help the process.
Right.
Or he's been the chair for 2 years.
As an alternate.
Yeah.
It's being an
He's,
alternate.
he's done a wonderful job with the community power, and I think it's good to have him just for continuing sake. That's such an important project for the community to get through.
Yeah.
Ron?
Yeah.
Miss Smith has something to say.
Oh,
Could you come up and speak, Martha?
we're not doing public.
Yeah, but she's on this board. Isn't it relevant or no?
It's-
If it's not, that's fine.
It's us
For us,
discussion.
It's not discussion.
Yeah.
with the public.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, can't say anything.
You can text us.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, well, I didn't know,
Thank
so-
you. Sorry, I just wanted to keep
Gotta
it up
keep
here.
consistent.
Yeah, I mean, having him as an alternate.
Yeah.
No, it's a good thing. I thought he was leaving right away.
That makes sense.
As far as I know,
I didn't know he was staying.
He just asked me to stay on to complete his community.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was unaware of that part of it. I thought he was leaving like at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, good point to bring up. Good.
Do I have a second?
I did second it.
Oh,
earlier.
sorry, Ted, I didn't hear. Sorry.
Yep.
Ted, second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Chair votes in the affirmative. So I have listed those there. Yeah. Do beautify.
Victoria Kimbler was the only applicant. What do we feel about appointing?
She didn't show up though. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
so I don't know. What do you guys want to do?
I mean, Beautify Londonderry needs people, but Victoria didn't even show up to interview, so I don't know how you guys feel.
I personally think it should go back out.
Okay.
Personally,
No,
that's
I-
my own opinion.
It's just that committee always needs help, and
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. 'Cause I'm the liaison there and one of the founders and
How many open spots do we have on? Just two. Okay.
full-time and an alternate.
yeah. So we want to repost it.
I think it should be.
Okay.
I'm fine.
But that's up to everybody
Okay,
else.
that's-
Which one's next?
All right. We'll do Heritage next. Ted, did you want to have any comments since you are the liaison?
Sure, we're just jumping further than I
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to take the
Positions.
least controversial ones off the table first.
Of course.
So,
I think we can move. Where are we? So we have a 2-3-year full member position. I believe that should go to John Mann. Art Rugg for the, I guess, the other 2-year, 3 full member position.
so we have 2 3 years. So we're going to do those to John and Art.
Yep.
Okay. This one.
And Jim Butler to the 2-year full member position. And then I'd like to nominate Krista Gierney, if I'm pronouncing it correctly? Guiney, thank you. To the 1-year full member position. And then we still have a alternate position that will still be open, but then also opening up another alternate with moving Jim up.
So we'll have 2 alternates that need to be reposted.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
I disagree with.
Okay, yeah, let's
with,
talk. That's why we're here. Let's
okay, I disagree with Ted on what was her name? Krista, because she really wanted planning. I don't think we should, like Marge brought this up at the last meeting, we put people on boards that they didn't ask to be on, and then they get on it, and in a couple of months, they walk away. And then we're back re-interviewing people all over again. So I personally think that what John, Art, and Jim are fine. And I think you should put the rest out again to be redone. If anybody should do it, it should be Miss Nash. She clearly should get more education, no offense, within how these things work. But she didn't put it on there as an alternate, so she put Budget Committee. So I would think we should just fill those, and I don't think we should put people on that didn't ask for things.
So I guess I'll make a motion to accept Ted's nominations.
Well, I'm going to speak up on this.
Oh,
one.
feel free to discuss.
Sorry,
Just-
again. I mean, I agree with Deb, just as has put in for planning board. We haven't even discussed planning board. I think that's a very important board, and I look at her write-up and, you know, listening to her, and I think she'd be a great candidate for planning board.
I agree.
If you want to vote them individually, we can do that instead of doing a slate.
So if we take Krista off, everyone agrees on John, Art, and Jim.
Yep, I'm
Yep.
fine with that.
You want to alter your motion, or you want to keep it the same?
I'll keep it the same.
I'm keeping
Okay.
it the same.
Okay. All right. All right, I mean, we did ask her, she
Yeah,
did
she
say that
said
she
yeah.
would be willing to try it, so.
Yeah.
I don't,
And I think it's a great spot to learn to get onto planning board. I think that's a.
and then we'd only have one open, we'd have two open positions instead of three. So, all right, so I have a motion from Sean and a second from Ted.
Well, I made the
Oh, sorry, motion from Ted, second from Sean, sorry. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed.
Chair votes in the affirmative.
I'm not opposed to the other three.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to the other three as well.
So we have two alternate positions to repost for Heritage. Okay. Old Home Day, Londonderry Old Home Day Committee.
I say we appoint the two.
Unfortunately, yeah, we only
Appoint the
have
two and
two.
put it back out.
Rick said he didn't mind what the term was. If we give,
One.
Kaylee specifically said one.
We could
If we give
two
Rick the
and
two,
one. Yeah.
yeah, and repost the others.
Agreed.
I'd also like to put in there Harry Schwartz, because I spoke to him earlier, and with his organizational skills, I think he'd be a great asset to Old Home Day, and he said he would like that.
But I thought he wanted conservation.
Yeah, he did.
And the Conservation Commission sent us a letter to all the council requesting him specifically. So, I mean, I guess he's here, you could ask him, you could bring him up and say, which one do you want, which would be fair.
So I will say, I don't think that the two boards would be a conflict with each other. So normally you don't put people on land use boards that are doubling up, or financial boards that are, they'd have a conflict of interest. But very well, if he would be willing to be on this board and conservation, we can
He's
certainly
here,
do
we
so.
can ask him. I would ask him.
I think he can easily apply for this after we open it back up. I just want to be careful of,
Okay?
Okay. All right, so
especially because he's up for another board. I just want to get through this business on that.
so if we do Rick. For the 3-year, and Kaylee for the 1 year.
For the 3 or the 2? You said 2.
Oh, so, Rick for the 3 year, sorry. Right? And Kaylee for the 1 year.
It doesn't matter to me, but I was thinking we put him on 2 just in case we don't get the 3.
She only wants one.
For term.
All right,
Yeah,
Kaylee,
she requested
Kaylee
one,
requested 1.
Yep.
but it doesn't either, Cora.
All right, does anyone want to make a motion?
I'll make the motion So Rick Pierce for the 3-year position and Kaylee Esposito for the 1-year position.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Deb. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes in the affirmative.
And you're gonna have.
And we're going to repost the 3 positions.
Okay. Which one next?
3 positions. Okay. Senior Resources Committee. We have 4 positions and 4 applicants. No matter where we want to put them.
We put the 3 full-time members back as 3 full-time members, and we put the new person as a alternate.
Kind of interesting, you asked the liaison over there for his input. I'm the liaison.
Oh,
for
sorry.
the Senior
Oh,
Center,
feel free.
For the
Please.
Senior Resource Committee.
Dan,
So,
absolutely, take your input.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I would,
You didn't reach out beforehand to say, so. that's
I
all.
would go with Meredith Allen for,
Okay,
and Lois. She's been on there forever. Meryl's too. Thomas Walker. For the full. Now, my understanding, Sherry put this in after the fact.
She missed the date.
She missed the date. So if you miss the date, and we're not allowing other people to go on different boards because we're reposting it, I think they should repost.
but
not
Sherry's
what-
already on the board.
Yeah, it's
We're
not.
not, we're not moving her to a different board, or we're not moving her to a, she's already on the board. So
I
it's not like we're
understand that.
taking her off of it.
We're not. It's just when people, terms come up, they have to apply. We have a process, and that was not met. So if that's not met, then that should be gone out again.
We still have discretion to do
Yeah.
and take into account these, and I confirm that with the town manager.
We do have discretion, but we should follow a process.
Yeah,
And we shouldn't make exception for people just because who they are or what they do. If you're gonna do that for one, you have to do it for every single person who misses applying. If they show up at a meeting and go, oh, wait a minute, I wanted to apply for that. I know you're having a hearing tonight, but can I be on that board? Are you gonna listen to them?
So there was a meeting back when we did the ZBA, and there was we appointed someone to the alternate of the ZBA, and I actually made a point to call this out, and I said, remember this meeting. When we go back to that, we are pulling someone that was not listed down on the sheet and made them an alternate, which is what we did that night. And you all said, we're completely fine with it. So here we are, and in order to be consistent, we can continue to do that. Otherwise, we're playing favorites to who we appointed on the ZBA that night, but not here.
And I will take it a step further, Sean. I went on to say we should review the process, and everybody said, oh, the process is fine, there's no holes and no problems. But obviously, there are some holes and some problems that need to be discussed and followed out. Is this the time to do it during budget season? No. In the summer, when we got nothing else to do, is it the time? Yeah, and that's when I brought it up. So duly noted that I said there was a problem, and it's here.
So I'll make a motion that we appoint Meredith Allen, Lois, and I don't want to butcher the last name, and Thomas Walker to Senior Resource Committee.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. I just want to discuss that.
Yep.
I think, my opinion is we're going away from what we had discussed earlier. We said that we were going to make accommodations for people that were already on boards, and that was our process, so.
But is that going to be your process, that you're going to treat certain people one way and other people another way?
We've
I
already
think
done it.
it's how we've done
It
it
doesn't
before.
matter. If you threw garbage in the ocean forever and you say, oh, that's good, and then all of a sudden you realize you're contaminating the ocean, and you're going to say, well, that's the way we always did it, so let's continue to do it?
Let's just be honest, it's real convenient on who this name is and why you want to change the process.
You can say that. It could be anybody there.
All right, hold on,
I brought this up
let's take it
before.
first. But, hold on, let's-
And you're going to put it right back up. It's not like she's got to wait a year. It's a day, and she can just file a complaint and follow the process. Not a complaint, an application, and fulfill the
So Deb,
process.
we can review the process. I put that down as notes for future town council meeting. I just don't think we'll be consistent. I mean,
And you're the chair.
So, Ron, you just said that we discussed, you know.
We don't need to go and.
We discussed this at a meeting before, where we appointed someone to ZBA that wasn't on the list.
It was in
And
August.
We all agreed that because there was an open position, that we would do it that way. So this is very similar. You
But
put
they
a-
applied.
They did, but the position wasn't posted.
Yeah, the position wasn't even up that night.
So.
And that's when this whole thing, you know, Sean made his point and I made my
I think,
point.
in my opinion, is you have 3 people that are full-time already on the board. They should be the full-time people, and the new person should be the alternate. That would make sense. You're a new person, you come in and you're an alternate. You're the new person. That seems to make sense, is what we've done in the past. When you're a new person coming in,
Well, they have their opinion, I guess we have ours. That's.
Uh-huh.
but that's,
Well,
oh.
It's
All right.
not that big a deal to me, but I really think you gotta look at the process and how you're doing this. And you gotta treat everybody the same.
Okay.
And going back to what I said in August when we did the ZBA thing.
We can look
Okay.
at the process,
I-
but we don't do it mid-flight.
I agree with
But
you.
we should have did it in August when
I-
I said to.
We didn't.
I agree with
Because
you
of
with the
you.
process, so we can do it in the future, but for right now, we didn't do that. So I think we need to do what we've done in the past. I mean, everybody's gonna get on the board.
Right. It's not a big deal.
And if you're gonna do that, then I would put, the person that didn't apply in time as an alternate. Still gonna be on there, so.
I guess,
We do have a motion and a second on the floor, so.
do we have a second?
Deb seconded.
Okay.
So, do we wanna,
Well, we
do
take
you
a
wanna
vote.
stick with your motion?
You wanna fix your motion,
Or you
Dan?
wanna-
Yeah, that Marital, Alan, Lois, and Tom for full, and we'll do Sherry for alternate. I go with that.
And I'll second it.
Okay. I have a motion and a second on the floor for that slate of people. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed.
Opposed, of course.
Chairs opposed.
That isn't obvious. Wow.
I'd like to make a motion to have Meredith Allen, Lois Deredzkowski, Sherry Farrell as full members, Thomas Walker as an alternate.
I'll second.
I have a motion from Sean, a second from Ted. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed.
Opposed.
Chair votes in the affirmative. Okay. Next up, I have Recreation Committee.
Are you the liaison?
know that it's Deb right now.
Deb, do you have any recommendations?
Excuse me. I would go with William and Kevin to continue. And I don't, even though I did like Mike. I'm just gonna go with William and Kevin as my 2 to 3 year positions.
Okay.
Yeah, Michael was highly experienced.
He
I did
was.
like
That was the whole thing.
He was great. So we are thinking of, like, there's a talk of expanding this in the future.
Could we put him on as an alternate?
So there has been discussion that the council could put on a future agenda to expand the Recreation Committee.
My thought with Michael is I just don't want to lose him. That guy seemed.
Yeah, he was great. Excuse me.
I think both William and.
But I don't want to be unfair to the people
Right.
who have been there and going and showing up and doing an amazing job that still want to continue to do their amazing job.
I don't know what kind of timeline we're looking at on expanding that. I don't know if our town manager
Can we
or
ask-
Kirsten can
Can we add
elaborate
an
on
alternate?
that.
Can you just ask the question again?
For the Recreation Commission, I know there was talk about expanding the number of members.
Yep.
I don't know what kind of process we're looking at or timeline.
So we're going to be looking at the administrative code in January anyway, so you could do it as part of that process. Or you could do a first reading in any subsequent meeting if you wanted to do that. The next meeting and then a public hearing after that, you could do that too. So you
Sounds
guys
good.
just tell them which way you'd like to go.
So potentially we could have a first reading on December 8th?
Let's do that.
Well, the 15th, because the 8th is already
Okay,
published.
15th, okay. So the 15th?
Yep.
Okay.
And then it'd be January 5th, I
Would
think
that
is
work?
the date. So
It's fine. I mean, but we should let them know.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
you know, we don't have it, or we would have put you on as an alternate, but to be fair, that's my 2 cents, I don't know.
Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
I'd like to authorize the town manager and his admin staff to reach out to Michael about that process.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can put that down on here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
you want to move forward with plans to get the first reading on December 15th?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. So I have a motion for William and Kevin to do the 2 3-year terms.
I'll second.
Second from Ted. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Chair votes in the affirmative. Okay. Up next, I have the Londonderry Housing and Redevelopment Authority. Any discussion here?
I think as much as Greg is highly qualified for that, I think that, you know, Bill Mee has been on there and doing a fine job too. This one's such a
Yeah.
hard decision, but he's, you know, if it's a tie, I guess I just go with the incumbent, but it's a hard one.
So we had also recently had appointed Bill to the TIF district because he's on the Londonderry Housing Redevelopment Authority. So then if we didn't appoint him to there, we would then have to find a new business community member in the district to be on the TIF district. So it's like
That messes that up.
it really messes that whole process up, as we already
then-
put him on there, and then we'd be taking that back away
If-
a month later.
If I could just get clarification, he could become the citizen representative, correct?
I'd have to look at that. The citizen rep is supposed to live adjacent to that or in the district.
Right.
Okay.
And
okay.
he does not.
Okay. So then, I was.
Yeah.
I'm open. Whatever you guys have any thoughts? Like, I thought it was Bill.
I
was doing a fine
personally
job,
think
but-
that Greg's knowledge would be best served on the ZBA, because he did apply for ZBA,
Yeah.
didn't he?
Yeah.
And to be honest, he really would be superb at that
Mm-hmm.
position because of his legal background,
Yeah.
I think. But that's my own
So we'll
opinion.
leave-
So,
Leave Bill there.
I'll make a motion for Bill Mee to stay on for the Londonderry Housing Redevelopment Authority for the 5-year full member
A
position.
motion from Ted.
Second.
Second from Sean. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes in the affirmative.
okay.
All right. Up next, I have conservation. We got the recommendations from Marge. I thought they were pretty good. I didn't have any
I'm
objection
gonna
to
go
them.
because
Yeah, I'm-
it's her board. I mean,
I didn't have any objection to that.
No, that
No.
sounded great.
You want to make the motion, Deb?
not really.
Okay.
Talking
Dan-
kills me.
Okay.
And another night it would have been better.
Okay.
And I can, well, actually,
No.
somebody else.
You want to? Okay.
So her recommendations were, trying to remember what they were.
Harvey Schwartz.
So we have Dave Heavey,
Okay.
Bob Maxwell,
Dave.
Harry, and Gary.
So Dave Heavey as a full-time member, Bob Maxwell to continue as a full-time member, both of those in the 2 3-year full member positions. Harry Schwartz as the 1-year full member position, and Gary Delgrada as the 3-year alternate position.
I will second.
All right. I have a motion from Sean, a second from Ted. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Chair votes in the affirmative. Okay. Up next, I have Budget Committee.
going to do
So-
ZBA before that, or?
So as liaison to the Budget Committee, I'll recommend Rebecca Rowe. I think she was young, but yet she had a lot of budget experience. I think getting young people involved in this town is highly important. And so I was impressed with her qualification for someone of that age, and I think that that would be my recommendation on who we move forward with.
I'll second that.
I have a motion from Sean, a second from Ted. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes in the affirmative. Up next is ZBA.
So I would like to make a motion to keep Jackie as a full-time member, make Greg Carson as a full-time member, and Andrea Hansen as an alternate.
I will second.
I'd like to have discussion.
Yep, discuss, just say it one more time, because I just want to.
Jackie Bernard as the current full-time member. She's the current chair. Greg Carson as the other 3-year full-time member.
Yep.
And then Andrea Hansen as the 1 3-year alternate.
Okay, discussion.
So I think like Andrea Hansen was the former town manager. I think she's very, very familiar with the zoning laws. Greg Carson is well qualified for this, and I think Jackie's the current chair, so that's why I made the picks I did.
To be honest, Andrea was really, her first choice was Budget Committee. Unfortunately, she didn't get it. I think Rob has been doing a great job on there. Jacqueline does an amazing job. Christine is new. Greg is very good. Veronica, did she show up?
Did not.
No show, right?
Veronica did not.
Okay.
Victoria did not.
I'm Victoria. She was a no-show, right? Okay.
So
We have 3 positions, and Rob's has been on there and been doing a good job. So
as liaison to the ZBA, I'll make a motion.
We have a motion and a second.
We have a motion and a second already. We're doing discussion.
I thought we were doing the people on the board. No, we're not.
No, I guess not.
No.
Okay.
We're not.
I have a motion and a second. We're discussing right now. We're not, what do you want to?
Yeah, mine's different, so just go ahead and take your vote.
Okay. Any more discussion? We're going to vote. All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed.
Chair votes in the affirmative. All right. Up next, Planning Board.
So as the ex officio on the planning board, I would like to make my recommendations of having Tony DeFrancesco as move up to a full-time member. Jason Knights, as requested, would move to an alternate member. Keep Ryan Ouellette as a current alternate member, and John Farrell for the open full-time position.
I will second.
Just one more time. So who
So
was
for
your
the-
full-time person?
So the two.
Not going to discuss?
We are. I just
Yeah, I'm
want
gonna
to write it
discuss.
down so I know.
So the full-time members would be John Farrell and Tony DeFrancesco.
Hold on. Let me
The-
just. John. Just wanna.
The alternates would be Jason Knights and Ryan Ouellette.
Discussion.
I had second.
Oh, yeah. So I have a motion from Sean, a second from Ted. Discussion.
I just feel with the experience needed for this board, I think learning as an alternate is highly important. I think Ryan's done a great job of being an alternate on that board. He's just new and fresh. We have another young, fresh person on there as an alternate learning. Tony's been an alternate for a while, highly experienced in that. And Jason requested becoming an alternate. And then John has an obvious experience on the board. It's just with new people, you've got to have a pathway.
That's funny.
So, yeah, I agree. Ryan, Jason, I think Krista as an alternate, and I'll tell you why. All right?
We cannot make her an alternate.
I can't?
No.
Why?
Because only one member on the Heritage Commission can also be on the planning board, and Art Rugg is already on the
And this
Heritage
is
and
why
Planning Board.
I said what I
That's
said
why
when
we
I
did
said it.
that. Good move there, Ted. Nice move. So,
Well, they did that on
I
purpose.
know this is, I know this was coming, all right? And I am going to make the public aware that recently, this whole board, okay? We've heard for years that Woodmont is being treated special, okay? Yeah, they get, special treatment and everything. You're like, well,
Dan.
no, let me finish.
No,
please.
but you can do that in public comment. We're in the middle of a.
No, he
That's
can
right,
say-
and this is important, okay? You're talking about putting somebody on the planning board who made an agreement, all right, a land use change tax agreement with Woodmont when he was on the council, all right? We also have another council member on this board right now, okay? And because of that, I think you should recuse yourself from this vote. You can't, we had this discussion with attorneys, we had this discussion with our town manager, all right? And what was done was illegal. The town got taken advantage of. We got shortchanged, all right,
But
on
Dan-
tax dollars. So to appoint somebody on a planning board that was involved in this is totally wrong, unethical. So
Be
when we
very
talk about
careful.
ethics,
Okay.
okay, and I know this was a game plan, it was all planned out, and that's why I brought this up. I was not gonna bring this up, but, it has to. And I think it's time that the people in Londonderry, when I say, I go to church and the lady looks at me and she goes, you know what, tell John Farrell he lost, all right, and move on.
I'd be very careful about publicly accusing someone of
I'm
a
not.
crime.
I'm not accusing you
Of
I'm not
any
accusing
crime.
Anybody? You're aware of it. I have the document right here. All right, and it's a public document. So,
A motion and a second on the floor.
if you decide to do that, this is on the three of you.
Okay.
Exactly.
Four of you, whatever it is.
No, it's
I'm
not
not going to
me.
be part of it. Okay. I interviewed when Mr. Farrell interviewed and I asked him questions. He said, "I was one of 5 counselors, Counselor Bouchard." Okay. Well, I'm one of 5, and I'm speaking up.
Okay.
I'm speaking up, and I'm putting it on record that I oppose it, so nobody can come back on me. Just like when we did with the.
Okay. I just don't know if it's the appropriate time because you should have done it. when-
No, this is the appropriate
I mean,
time.
it-
Because
okay.
I didn't know this, I had a suspicion this was coming, because there's been a lot of backdoor deals going on around here, and,
backdoor deal, Dan.
I've had- I've had-
I like. There's.
Oy, oy, oy.
Motion and a second on the floor.
All right.
So we'll vote it in.
I have a motion
Disgusting.
from Sean, a second from Ted, correct?
Yep.
Correct.
Going back to that, to nominate Tony DeFrancesco and John Farrell to the full-time positions, and Jason Knights and Ryan Willett to the alternate. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed adamantly.
Affirmative.
Of course.
This is why the people don't listen, right? Nobody listens to you.
Conspiracy theories are
Okay.
just.
It's not a
You
conspiracy.
put all
It's just right
inexperienced people on the ZBA right before it. So
Listen, let's-
justify it. You can't. You can't, Sean. You put all unexperienced people on ZBA.
Former town manager and a
Guys,
person
guys,
in the
guys,
housing
let's get it back
authority
in
are not
line. Come on.
inexperienced. They're just
Right,
not your
that's-
friends.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But they're your friends, right?
Guys.
Mr. Farrell's your
Let's
friend.
have
You're in
some-
his back pocket. Prove me wrong. Shine his shoes, too, I bet.
Oh my God, Deb, please.
Don't tell
Just
me what to
stop.
do.
I know, but
We're
just-
all equal here, and we all have a right. I understand.
That's
But
all.
I'm not going to take it.
Let's just be civil.
I'm being civil
all.
until he stops his little things. I'll stop mine.
All right.
And anybody who wants to see this document,
Um,
I'll gladly share it with you.
I'm sorry to the public for this uncivil demeanor. This is not appropriate
Should
for
be
us.
more
so.
sorry about who you voted for.
Next up is new business. Discuss and request from the Senior Resources Committee to place a warrant article on the ballot for March 2026 for municipal transportation. Deb, you wanted to speak, and John, you wanted to speak both? Come on up. Good evening.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah, of course not.
So they can hear you. There you go.
I guess before I start the presentation,
Could you speak into the mic so we can hear you, please? Thank you.
can you hear me now?
A little bit better, thank you.
So I know where to begin. Has everyone reviewed all the documents that were presented to you beforehand? Okay, so you understand the basic concept of what we're trying to do. Okay? Well, I think back in 2007 or 2008, a group of people from Londonderry, Derry, Salem, Wyndham, Hampstead, Chester, I think, got together and basically came up with the idea of creating CART, which is the service that we've been using since back then. And at the time, there was legislation passed to put CART into effective business and how they were going to run. I think that served the towns well. But we have, as far as I can see from the records, what we have today is essentially what was put in place back in 2008 or 9, okay? And I think it's time to invest more money into transportation for seniors, for disabled people, veterans, and so on. And that's why we're here, to help get your consent or approval to put a warrant article on the ballot, which will try to accomplish that. Now, what we're doing is a unique arrangement in how we plan on funding this. It's not commonly used around the state, but there is, well, how many do we think?
32.
About 32 towns in the state of New Hampshire that are using the mechanism that we want to fund these improvements with. Now, first of all, I want to make certain you understand, this will not increase the tax rate. In fact, it'll have a slight decrease of the town rate, tax rate. What we are proposing, and what the legislation passed back in 1997 would do, is it allows towns to put a fee on the motor vehicle registration to be used for a variety of transportation initiatives, one of them being public transportation. So what we want to do is put a $5 fee on the registrations. So when you register your car, there'll be an extra $5 once a year that you will effectively be contributing to transportation for seniors, people that are disabled, veterans, and so on. Now, I had people mention to me, well, that's just another tax. And I guess in a technical way, you could say it is a tax, okay? The registration, all the dollars you spend on the registration is a tax. But this is a very, very small charge that we're asking people to put on there once a year. It's difficult for you to find a place in town where you can buy a cup of coffee for about that much money. So it's a very incidental expense, really, out of people's pockets. And I'm not certain what the average car registration is, but I think it's in the neighborhood of over $600. So that's what we want to do.
And if I can just say one thing.
Sure.
And another thing is that, like we said, it's $5 once a year when you register your car. We're talking about people that are in apartments. I know we have a lot of explosion of apartments here and everything. I mean, we're talking every person is going to be doing this. It also includes trailers. So it doesn't include motorcycles or We don't do ATVs anyways, but,
Not on
or
boats.
boats.
No boats.
No. So now we can include some of these people that are not, I know they pay taxes through their rent and everything else, but we have a lot of people in this town that are driving cars, 1 or 2 per people that are in apartments. They're not paying anything except for some part of their rent goes to taxes. They would also have to pay this, and that's once a year, $5. That's going to be more than your average credit card charge that we do every day, multiple. I mean, we have 42,000 registrations per year in this town. That's a lot. And we're looking at $200,000 that's going to be coming into this town. So that's a really big amount as far as I'm concerned. So, and it's not going to just affect a few people, it's everybody. And it's not going to be the taxpayer who own property, because they've already got, I'm a taxpayer, mine went up a lot too, like everybody else's, and I'm not happy with that. So this is a really good way to get some more income to the town for some things we need, and that's what John has been looking into.
Now, let me mention some of the features of this, which I think are attractive. Excuse me. First of all, we are not going to start from ground up a transportation system in Londonderry. Okay, that's completely out of the question. What we want to do is to increase our contract with CART. Now, this is the best part of this. If we were to start a transportation system on our own, and we went out with our pile of $5, okay, all we could buy is what we have for $5. But because we're going into CART, and CART is funded by the federal government to a great deal. So the $5 that every person puts in essentially gives us $10 of purchasing power, because there's a match of 50-50 on federal dollars of anything we do with CART. So that's a pretty good bargain for your $5 that you put in.
And one of the things that you had looked into was the comparative statewide. If you go to New Hampshire is 6th out of Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Maine. 6th. We're the last ones in that group to do things like this for communities. We don't have a lot of public transportation. It's mostly in the big cities. We have so many people in town that need to get to doctor's appointments. And we're doing it for the elderly because that's our group, but we're talking about people that have mental handicaps. We have people that are in wheelchairs, accessibility problems. CART will not pick people up. They do part of it. They pick them up if they're able. There's also a need for helping the person to get into the vehicle. And that's another thing that we've been trying to look into, because they don't do that. So now you've got another whole group of people that can't get to the doctors, that can't get to these places because they don't have that. So these are all the things we're trying to, think about for future. And a lot of this is for our future. We have a growing town, aging. This town is aging, and we hear that all the time. And I think we really need to help our seniors a lot more than we are right now.
Mr. Chair. Yeah. So I believe this, how it's written with the state, these monies could also potentially be used for going into roadway improvements, traffic studies, improving accessibility within town, potentially for crosswalks or other items such
It
as
would
that.
be that type of improvement, not necessarily potholes or things like that, but it's
No.
going to be something that would help for accessibility for people to walk, to have accessible in the streets, yes.
And I think that, there's many times we've had this in place since 97 or 98 already. So, the town itself has been missing out on these dollars for over 25 years, 26 years, that all these other towns have been receiving for all these years. And we could have been getting all these different projects done or improving CART along the way. I think this is long overdue that we get this through. It's less than 1% on a car registration.
So Deb, what we're looking at here is targeting mostly people in individual homes, not like the Baldwins or All-American, who have their,
Actually, Baldwin's has a lot of people that register cars.
right, but they have their own transportation.
Oh,
for
I'm sorry,
for
yeah,
some of
I
them,
thought-
right?
yeah, we do have
And
income
All
from there,
American
too.
has their own transportation
Right.
as well.
They have a
So
bus
this is
and stuff.
mostly for people who are stuck at home.
Stuck at home in Londonderry who are managing to get by, and they don't have the money to, you know, get a taxi, an Uber, all these things. It's expensive. We can't ask people to do that.
And
We've
this
got to have
als-
something.
This also, doing this out of the registration, gives you the opportunity to plan long-term instead of a warrant article where it's there for 1 year.
Right.
And then it runs out, and then you have to come up for a warrant article again.
Every year we have to
And
come
that warrant
back.
article is actually a tax impact on all the residents.
Right.
Okay? Versus this is a registration, so it helps you plan ahead.
And it's we know the money's coming in, the town grows, we get more.
Right.
You know, and that money will be managed by, you know, finance, obviously, in a separate account. It's not something that gets, you know, mixed in with other things, so.
And like Ted said, it can be used for other issues as well, for traffic.
Yep.
Okay?
I'm not sure exactly how that fund works. I've read up on it a little bit, but I don't know if you wanted to
Can you
elaborate
enlighten
on
us,
that.
Mr. Town Manager, how?
Right in the statute talks about what it can be used for, and there's a list in here. It includes roads, the local or regional transportation system, including roads, bridges, bicycle and pedestrian facilities, parking and intermodal facilities, electric vehicle charging stations, and public transportation. The funds may be used for engineering, right-of-way, acquisition, and construction costs of transportation facilities, including electric vehicle charging stations for operating and capital costs for public transportation only.
So I will say, I strongly believe in what John's trying to do. I mean, we had a good conversation. He outlined all the things that we could do for the seniors for this transportation. My one concern is if we fund it through this mechanism, could potentially lose control of that because of all the other things listed there. There is an alternative where we could put something in the budget where it is purposely dedicated towards this purpose, and I feel like we'd have a better grip on it. I just don't want to see us go forward with this and then have the money diverted 5 different ways from Sunday and the seniors never get their program.
No, I would hate to
can't-
have that be done, and, you know, certainly I'd want to earmark the correct amount of monies and, you know, potentially per year within that fund, you know, slightly increase over time, but also be saving that money. Don't want to expunge it for other roadway improvements or studies that need to be done, but it can certainly help supplement.
So Deb, I have a question for you. FedEx, do they register vehicles in town?
No, we do have, we have fleets. We have Continental has about 750 vehicles that they register. We have Enterprise, which I'm not sure if we're keeping that. No, so we are keeping. Okay, I wanted to ask you that. I forgot to ask you that. So we have Enterprise. We do those every day. We get new ones.
FW Web?
Yes. Yes.
That's right.
FW Web.
Thank you. I should have researched all the different fleets. I was trying to get that info for you.
Then we have FedEx and UPS.
We have,
Are they also registering
yeah,
in
we
town
have
or
a
no?
lot. We get them a lot.
So a lot of those fleets will be contributing to this.
Every,
That's what I'm getting
every,
at.
everything, because they don't have motorcycles, so everything that they do is it's a lot of money. It's
Sure.
a lot.
Yep.
Just my last
That's
question
okay.
for the town manager and for Justin is, how would this be written on the warrant article, as what you've provided to us already is pretty lengthy? I would hate to confuse the voters with a lot of words.
This would have to go to DRA, wouldn't it?
I thought we already.
So we would have our legal look at it, because this is in what I call an RSA warrant article, where you're essentially taking it from the RSA. So legal would take it, and I'd defer to them at that point.
Yeah, however they can potentially condense it down instead of making a whole entire page for just this.
And the only reason that we went this way was because if we do it the way you were saying, Sean, we're talking about property owners again, you know, so we've got to get, I'm personally, you know, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I want to see the renters start paying some of the stuff that, you know, so they should be able to, put $5 in every time they register a car. I just want to get away from always taxing the homeowners.
Deb had a question.
I just a couple. So, does anyone know, Justin, I guess, how much we pay for CART every year? What that cost is to be part of CART? Does
John
anyone
knows
know?
that.
Right now, we paid him approximately $27,000. What I think the fee is going to be in fiscal year 2027 is more in the neighborhood of about $56,000.
2027 will be 56,000?
That's what I think, and that's an estimate. It's not a contractual number yet, but I think that's the number we've been.
And by doing what we're doing, right? If this goes through or whatever, how much? So, say we wanted to pay CART outright for doing this extra service. Like, do we know what that would cost? Would that be like $100,000 a year? I'm just trying to put my head around some numbers. That's all. I'm not against it. I just want to understand it.
Yeah, that's a good question.
What we're going, first of all, the way we're doing this, is not like a warrant article. So with a warrant article, on July 1st, we have X number of money sitting on the table, solid. This money is going to come in 12 increments, and I don't know what the flow of revenue, I don't know if we have spikes in the registration, so on. So anyway, you're going to start out with a little bit of money and it's going to work its way up. So we have, and once you get going, we'll always hold a reserve, and we'll be able to plan a lot better once we get going. But the first year is going to be a little lumpy. But specifically, to answer your question, if this warrant article passes, we'll take the $57,000 out of the budget and we'll put it over into this reserve fund's going to happen.
That's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is, I probably didn't articulate it correctly. We spend X amount of money with CART and we get X services, right? But if we spend more money with CART, we're going to get this service. I'm trying to find out how much more would we have to give them to get the services that you're looking for. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you're saying we have the level A package with CART. We want to go to the level D package. What does that get us? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
The first year, at some point in time in the first year, what we're proposing to do is basically bring the service up to what Dairy is doing right now. Now, Dairy has the services that we have, plus what we're proposing for the first year is adding hours onto the day. Right now, our service is at about 4:30. We're planning on running it till 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, 5 days a week.
So you're saying we're going to get more hours. How many more? I'm trying to break it down.
How many more hours, like Derry has, how many hours?
Well, let's say 4, what's that? We're probably adding 4 a day, so that's probably 20 a week.
20 more hours a week.
Now, let me continue. If you
I know, I'm writing it down. That's why I need to.
In addition to that, we're going to add for the first time, which Dairy has done, although I'm not certain, to be honest with you, how long they're going to do it, a Saturday service.
You're adding a Saturday.
There's no weekends right now at CART.
There's no weeknight.
For the package we get.
They don't run.
Because is that how it works, Deb? I mean, do they have the luxury package?
You can get more. You can.
I don't know how it works, so.
Yeah. She wants to know if we pay more, how much more do we have to pay from what you were saying?
That's going to cost us, those pieces will cost us about another 100.
So the whole premium package that you're looking for is going to be another 50,000 on top of the 50,000, roughly. I'm just saying to get
this money
20 an extra 20 hours and a Saturday.
Right.
That's going to cost an extra $50,000.
We're looking at about $200,000 a year that would come in from.
No,
this.
but I'm not even looking at that. I'm getting
Just
the
to
money.
find out, what
I'm
the
trying to let
services are.
people understand we're bringing in this money and how much of it is actually got to go to CART and what that will give them for their money then the rest of it, like you said, goes to different things. But I think you really got to say, we
wanted to go to
anticipate.
CART first. We wanted to go
Yeah,
to
we
seniors first,
anticipate
and that.
carts we need to get to them like 100,000 so that we get the A service that's going to give us A, B, C, D, right? Because this is what you got to explain to people why this is for this $5 you're going to get the extra 20 hours a week. You're going to get the Saturday, which was never offered. I don't know if there's anything else, but that's the kind of thing. So you can say, instead of it coming out of the taxpayer an extra 50, this is going to pay for it, and 50 is going to go back to the taxpayer. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to wrap my head around.
So did you just say money is going to go back to
Well,
the tax?
it would
That's
go
what she
into-
said.
No, it will go.
It's going to come out of the budget.
Well,
There's 50,000 or the 27,000 that right now that we're
That
budgeting for
That fund has
CART.
to go to only a certain things can be used.
That's what
that
she
fund
said.
can be used for.
So essentially, we're saving money on the actual town budget as well.
That's what she just isn't.
We're taking money,
Gotcha.
that's already going towards CART, and it'll be coming out of the budget and being taken out of the new fund.
Okay, so you're saying that would come out of the budget then and
Right.
be funded by this fund?
Right.
That's
It's gonna
what I
be
was-
funded, right, by this fund. That's why we wanted to do, we don't want to touch the property at all.
But,
Once this
but
pa-
not in
if-
2027, because we're budgeting for it. That's where the confusion is.
Yeah,
Can I
but
ask you, Justin, is that correct? So in 2027, we're still budgeting for CART.
Right,
Okay,
so
so
but
it's
in-
not so it's not affecting this budget.
No.
Yeah,
no, but in
Still-
2027.
So it's not saving anybody money in 2027.
No, I know, but it's going to go up to $56,000. So we're going to in the future, by doing this, you would save that. Is that? Am I saying this all correctly, Justin?
So if you were to pull it out now and the warrant article were to fail, you'd be hurting yourself twice.
Yeah.
So in 27 it'll remain in, and then 28, if it meets the qualifications, which it should, you'd be able to pull out whatever the CART contribution is from
And
the
I think
budget.
it makes sense to leave it in there right now because the fund needs to accrue the funds in it. They won't have that money right away. So I think,
But then when it does, you're right.
Right.
It's
That's
gonna
what I'm
come
trying to
out.
say. Eventually, it will be a cost saving to the public.
right.
Karen, Deb and I go at it. The Debs are thinking the same.
Yeah, I just want to be sure if we say money's going back and then we don't get money back, I want to make sure like
Yeah.
that.
So my other question is, and I don't know who's going to answer this, is how many other things besides tires? I think that's an extra $4 on your $3 on your registration. Do we add anything else on there, or is it just the tires?
I wasn't ready for that one, so I'm sorry.
So it's
I don't-
tires and
Look on
oil
your
cleanup.
registration.
Oil, yeah, it's on the registration. It's
It's on
minimal.
your registration, but
I'm not
I
sure
don't
if
off
it's
the top of your
$2
head
or
know
I
what
don't
else is
remember.
on there.
50 cents or
So it's $2.50 for.
It's $3 for it's tires and oil pickup. And the one thing, and a resident had brought this to my attention. I had no idea this was being collected, but
Neither did I till just recently, and it seems like I don't know anybody who takes advantage of it.
on top of that, we're now moving the oil pickup from the town to the auto dealerships. So that's where I'm like, okay, there's $3 here too that also maybe could be used towards this. I don't know. There's some money floating
Well,
out in there that we're not
The question is, where is that money going, and what is it being used for?
exactly.
Not that I'm against it. I just think we should be open and transparent to the public as to when you register your car, you will pay $3 for this, $5 for this. This is what it goes to. This one's bringing you money in, but what is the other thing doing?
Well, even more. If we're asking for $5, but we've got 3 that's just floating that we're already taking, that seems like some odd math. So
Yeah.
You're talking about the 3 for the tires, sir?
Yeah, yeah.
The 3 for the tires, I think, helps pay for the tires that are dropped off at the drop-off center.
oh yeah, I understand what it's
For
for.
us, it's
I'm just saying I don't know that we use it or most residents are even aware that exists. 'Cause I know when I get my tires changed, I just pay for it at the place I'm getting the tires from, and they take that right there. The oil now is going to the auto dealership, so we're not doing that kind of collection. So I'm just saying, is there money we're collecting that we're not using? That's-
I got a question of the town manager. On the oil, is that something that we can do as a warrant article to remove that, if we're gonna add that?
Okay.
So we could remove the oil, since we're not doing that anymore.
But you still have to clean up the facility you've got down there, and the oil tanks and all that. I don't know what that's gonna cost, but
Okay. But after that's done, then we don't need to be collecting that.
correct.
And that could help in this
Offset.
to help offset this situation. So,
Well, we just leave the $3 there and we just reappropriate it with a warrant article.
can you do that, Mr. Town Manager? You can't do that.
They're limited for the purposes that are
That
listed in
they're
statute.
assigned for.
Yeah, so.
And I believe,
You'd have to disconnect one and connect another, but you couldn't like go, let's switch them.
and I believe by state law, the max on this is $5.
It's the 5, yes.
Right.
So if we're collecting 3 for the oil, and we do away with the 3 on the oil, and now we're gonna do this 5, actually, it's only a $2
That's
increase.
what I was, that's where I was going.
That's what we're looking at,
And
$2
if we,
increase.
it's up to us to educate the public when,
Right.
when the
I
warrant article's
understand,
there. So
but I'm
we-
trying to give you tools
Exactly.
to
Yeah.
make it more appealing.
My concern would be that we'd want it structured, just like Ted was bringing up, to make sure that it's going to the right place, so that some elected officials later on don't decide, hey, there's money there, let's use that to offset the tax rate.
Yep, no.
You know, similar to, I see police officers here, sitting here, and I'm thinking of the retirement system when,
Well, no, it can't be,
no,
that way.
no, but what I'm saying is, our retirement system up in Concord was, they pulled money out of that retirement system years ago to help the budget. So, you don't want to see that happen in this situation. I'm trying to make sure we don't
Yeah,
get
it
into
has
that
to be very
situation.
specific.
I think, the overall big benefit here is if we're going to be looking at about $100,000 in here to go towards CART, that's a little over a penny savings per thousand.
The one thing I want to be clear on, because we hear this a lot and people say, well, you said one thing and now in the future, something else different is happening. I don't think statutorily we're able to prevent this in the future from being used for other transportation articles that are underlined under RSA, whatever it happens to be.
I think the way to protect it is have a good transportation system, because if you have a good transportation system and after it starts running, no one's gonna wanna take it away.
I agree with you. I just don't want, I want to be clear and transparent with the public about this, that there is no possible way for us to limit that. So if someone does it in the future, it's not, we implemented it wrong. This is just the mechanism that was used, and there are no limitations on it by law.
It's just unfortunate we didn't implement this years ago when this fund could have been quite healthy by now.
Ron? Any other questions? Absolutely, yeah, please, go. Yeah, budget, absolutely. This is budget discussion.
So just so I'm just getting this straight. So with the additional hours and with Saturday, you're estimating the total cost that we'll have to pay into CART will be $107,000.
Say that again, 100 and what?
The total, well, they said it would be
157?
additional 50,000 on the 56, 57,000.
No, I think he's saying a
No?
total of 100, not 150.
A total.
Total
So
of
it would be a
50 and
total of $106,000 or $107,000
Approximately.
It's
for
gonna double. He's
2027.
asking you if it's gonna double or not.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna certainly double from the $57,000.
All right,
I
and
wonder what- There is no such proposal to double this or do any
Yeah,
of those
I
other
don't-
things. So I want to be really cautious here. The only thing right now is the fee that we're paying 27. I've heard that they want 56, but we only have 27,000 budget in there. There are no other agreements with them to provide any additional services. That would all have to be negotiated with them. I mean, you're talking a ways off. So I just want to be really cautious about talking about other levels of service, because none of that is presently in the mix.
Okay.
Or proposed in the budget. So,
Thank you for that
yeah,
clarification.
let this go on for a while, but I just want to be real clear about that.
Okay.
And so with the $5 added to the
Registration.
to the registration fees, you said what, about $200,000
If you go about 40,000
That's a good round
registrations.
number. I don't think it'll be less than that,
And how did you come up with that?
That's from our reports.
based on the registrations.
We have about 40,000 registrations of
Yeah,
vehicles.
actually
and trailers.
42, and take out the motorcycles.
Go ahead, sir. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Two very quick questions. Thank you.
First point, I believe I heard that the $5 fee is limited by legislation. We
Yes.
can't go above that? Okay. The other question, I noticed in your request, you say thankfully CART is subsidized by federal funding to the tune of 50%. In case, in future years, we see that federal funding go away, what is the implication for this program if
Well,
that happens?
Obviously, the implications are, first of all, how much it's cut, okay? And if they take, the federal government come in and take it all away, okay? It's unlikely. These are funds, a lot of, at least part of it, are specifically aimed at seniors. So that's not a great political place to start cutting money out of that budget. So but I haven't heard anything about the federal government cutting money. Now, in addition to that, I should mention that New Hampshire itself, okay, right now is dead last in the number, they're number 50th on the line of put money into transportation. And I know that right now there's some work afoot going on to throw a significant amount of money into transportation for seniors in rural areas. So I think we can be reasonably comfortable over the next couple of years. I have no idea what the federal government will do in the future about this, but public transportation is a good way to solve a lot of our problems. I would think that after we get this going in 2 or 3 years, I think we can start building the transportation system that can probably help somewhat with the congestion problems we have. If you think about on a larger scale, every place that's ever had a congestion problem has put some form of public transportation in place. So every little bit of transportation helps with.
If we could just get back
that's
to
years down the road, but it's.
Yeah, let's, if you don't mind, I'd like to just focus on the numbers for a second. So I believe I heard 27,000 are budgeted, as it stands. This program is going to raise 200,000, so that's almost 8 times what we're currently budgeted to spend. So what do you anticipate using all those funds for?
Well, the first year, okay, the thing that we would do is try to mimic the services that dairy has. We know about those services, how they work. We know about the ridership they got. So we think reasonably confident that would be a successful program. You want me to go on from there?
Nope, I'm just looking for financial stuff. The bigger picture is here in the middle.
So I think they had mentioned before that, potentially redo a contract, improve services, but also within here, in the warrant article from the state RSA, there could be monies used for potentially other studies or improving transportation within town.
Crosswalks, the lights that, different things, all that stuff can be used for that.
There aren't any firm numbers on anything to be spent just yet on the rest of it, but you got to be able to build it up from somewhere.
You got a question?
Yes.
You go ahead.
What is the contract length for CART today? Is it like renewed each year? Is it 3 years? What's the?
It's not, I wouldn't call it a contract exactly. I think it's more like a memorandum of understanding between the towns and CART. And the towns that are involved in this have a governing board, I guess you'd call it. And those people on the committee, they approve, the towns that are involved in this approve the budget. Okay, so we have a little bit of negotiating power and so on within that exercise.
Okay. All right, and just to the point that Patrick was bringing up earlier, while I think we wouldn't want to see funding cut, I do think it's always possible that can happen. So I think just as we proceed, it's important to just keep that in mind. I don't think you want to we don't want to like corner some money in a place that you can't use it, or if things kind of get flipped on their head, you know, you can't access it for what you want. I don't necessarily know that there's a problem, but I wanted to just put out there that there's always the potential that
This money,
funding might
federal money I'm
disappear.
talking about is not unique to New Hampshire.
Yeah.
It's universal across the country. So we would be a small voice and hollering back, but there's 50 other states that would be a lot more upset than we will be. It just cuts.
Understood.
Deb has a question.
Yeah. I know that CART had some issues in the past, like people got upset with CART for not picking people up or certain things like that. How accountable do you think CART will be when people complain? Like who, because I know there was issues with CART in the past. I remember people were getting upset with the fact that they had issue, they didn't wait for them, they just dropped them off, or they said certain. So I just want to know, like, what their accountability do you think? I know you don't know for sure, but how do you think that's going to be?
I think their accountability is very good. In fact, what's interesting about what you just brought up is that's how I got involved in this, because I heard all this problems with CART.
I remember.
And I got tired of it, and I wanted to really understand what was going on. And then I asked people in the town at the time, this is years ago, 8 years ago exactly, and I could never get my finger on anything. So I called up the guy that runs CART at the time, and I was asking him, what's going on? And he says, well, I want, come on up, and I'll show you what we do, and so on. And it was an interesting meeting, and basically the only problem that I could see that they had was, it's almost a universal problem, and that is the call center. They were having problems with the call center, people taking calls, a lot of it was volunteers and so on. But that was it. I mean, and I was sympathetic to that because I've been through, over the years, call centers were up and down. It's hard to get good help and so on and so forth. So I was, that's how I got involved in this because of those complaints, which I don't think were really very founded.
When those complaints were coming in, I remember we got a van, Joe Green got a donated van that we, still have to this day. And even though we got it for free, we still got to maintain it and register it, pay for it, use it. And then we put like $30,000 for an employee to schedule, and it became a real nightmare, I remember. And I just want to, make sure that we're going to be doing the right thing.
We're not going to go into
Huh?
That's the reason why I don't think we should try to go into the transportation business.
Exactly. Yeah. Exact. Well, that's what I thought back then, but. All right. Well, thank you.
Joseph.
We're in an MOU with other communities. Like, is the town of Londonderry has a memorandum of understanding with other communities to use CART? Is this deal? So when that $27,000, was that negotiated from town employees with CART to get to that price? How is the price set? Who's setting the price?
So we've met, I've met with them, obviously, initially, and they don't per se have a price, per se. If you wanted additional services, and they talked about that, Derry was willing to pay extra for that. Whether they're going to continue to do that remains to be a question. Don't know that. So I don't have a number from them. We pay less proportionally than the other towns around us compared to our population. So arguably, there's other towns could say that we're not paying our fair share for the level of service that we're getting. That would be a legitimate argument for them to make.
Okay.
So I've increased it using money that's the same numbers that are already in the budget by moving some of those numbers around. To get to the 27,000, because it was a lower number. It was 16, or what was it?
27, it's now 37.
Okay, 37, yeah. So we use the existing monies, the same appropriation you had in the existing budget. It's the same amount by just moving it from one place to the other. And I've heard they're looking for 56,000, but they haven't told me that. They haven't
And do
sent
they
anything
tell
to
you
us.
how they come up with that number?
It's not 100% clear to me because, again, if you look at the ridership and you look at the populations, the numbers are in different places, and other communities are paying more than we are.
And I guess, is our ridership on the rise?
Slightly,
By how much?
No.
Number of percentage?
a couple hundred a year, I would say. I can answer that question in detail, if you want me to pull, I can get the numbers in a couple days probably of what the history has been. But it's slowly rising.
All right, that would be helpful. Thank you.
We do have those numbers. They provide them to me. I don't have them in front of me right now.
Good.
So, Mr. Chair, are we looking, what are we looking to do here?
So
to move on?
what they're looking for tonight is just a consensus from the council as to whether or not this council would support a warrant article on the ballot, or should John go to citizens petition? That's what he's asking us tonight.
Okay, my only concern is last year, the council dropped the ball on them, and they didn't have time to go for a citizens petition. So I'd like to just know exactly what the drop dead dates are so that it doesn't happen this year. So if the council says, we don't agree with this or whatever, what do they, what,
Justin, can you
what
tell
needs
us
to be
again
done?
what the dates are?
Citizens petitions are due by the second Tuesday in January.
I think it would also be helpful for the council to know what the warrant article would look like. If we can have our legal team
Yes.
do that.
I'm fine with that.
I think it's in the packet.
I was going to say, I think there's a version of it in
Right.
the packet.
In the packet.
And that's the newest and greatest version, Justin?
So no, this
Latest
is the one that was presented last year. It'd
So-
be similar to this. We just have legal review it again and make sure that no RSA's changed and that it still meets what we're looking for it to accomplish.
so for tonight, Ron, you're just looking for a consensus?
So what John is looking for
Move forward.
tonight is he just wants the council to basically say that we're not going to do a midnight vote, so to speak, right, John? And being honest with John,
Yeah.
John was honest with me. That in the last hour before he can't get us this petition, that we're not going to vote to pull it off. And I told John that I was going to make sure that he got a consensus from the council so that he didn't feel like what happened last year to him.
Well, as one counselor, I think it's a good idea.
Oh, we all think it's a good
and
idea.
I think,
He's looking for a consensus as to whether or not
I
we would
think-
support a warrant article.
right, and I think it's a good idea, and I would support a warrant article, hopefully coming from the council. If it doesn't, I would definitely support it on the citizens petition as well.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
If I may, Justin, are you referencing the document SRC warrant article request? Is that what you're speaking of? Is that what you're saying that was written for last year?
No. I'm looking at 2024-1231 WA $5 registration fee.
Okay.
So if you click on that, it
Yep.
is an email, and you'll see that to see if the town will vote to collect an additional motor vehicle registration fee of $5 per vehicle.
So apparently this was a review by legal counsel last time.
Yeah.
The issue was that I don't think John had he didn't have the version he wanted on the warrant because of what happened. So that's why John is before us tonight to make sure that he just wants a consensus from us that we're not going to, at midnight, say we're going to hold off. Is that fair enough, sir?
And is John happy with that
I mean,
version that we're
Uh,
looking at?
We're simply-
John wants legal counsel to review it with Justin.
Okay.
And then as long as, he just is looking for us to have a consensus that we're not going to pull it off. That's,
No.
do you feel good, Deb, about, okay,
fine.
Dan? I know you,
Yep.
and Ted?
Yep,
So
I'm
you have a
good.
consensus, we're not gonna,
Okay, so
So-
what you're voting.
we're not voting, we're just giving you a consensus that it's not gonna be, we're not gonna get in the way of it. So work with Justin and work with legal counsel, get the verbiage together, get it to Justin so we can get it in the packet and get a warrant article.
And you'll be happy.
Well, it'll be on the warrant. It's not going to be pulled off at the last minute
Okay.
as what
so-
happened last
so
year.
What we
So-
need to do is get the warrant that we want,
Yes, the one that
on the
you
ballot
want, John,
to
get it to Justin so
That's
he can
all.
have legal review it.
and then you'll review it and
Yep,
at what, next meeting or whatever.
yep. So what will happen, as I said to you when we met At that second meeting in January, when we review the warrant articles, we will vote to put it on the ballot. And then at that point, individual councilors can vote if they would support that version or not.
And then that would be.
But it's going to be on the ballot.
I think what's written already will be able to meet the needs that you are requesting, and as well as the other needs that have been spoken about. And it won't take away from anything. You may just want to review it again.
Okay, so basically,
They're saying they're gonna pass it.
in January, whatever that meeting is,
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about date, you're going to vote to approve putting warrant article X on the ballot.
Yep, on January
Yeah, they're not gonna do it
19th,
last
I think
time.
it is, that meeting, we do two votes. We read the warrant articles, and we'll make a vote to put it on the warrant, and we'll make a vote for individual councilors as to how would they vote for it.
Right.
So in that meeting, what we're giving you is a consensus that we're all gonna vote to put it on the warrant.
It'll go on the warrant.
Correct.
And then you would
Not
decide as
Correct.
individually what that little number is
Correct.
gonna be, how many said yes,
I'm
how
not
many
gonna say
said
who's
no.
gonna vote what way, but we're all gonna vote to put
So
it on
they-
the warrant.
They're saying they will put it forward. We
Yes.
don't have to do the
We're not
petition.
making you do it as a citizen's petition.
Right, we don't have to do the
We'll
petition.
look at it before, because,
I asked him to work with Justin.
right, but my only concern is if we do it on what, the 9th?
We're doing all the warrants on the 19th.
Okay. I'm just listening to what you're saying. You want to change the wording or something on the warrant?
I don't.
No, I
You
don't think we
you
were gonna
don't?
do that.
Are you okay with the one that's
Yeah, I thought
that's
that's
there?
what
That the one in the package is what.
The one that in the
Yeah.
packet is good.
Right.
Okay, all right. I just
But the
don't
one we
wanna
had
see
last year
changes.
wasn't to your liking.
I don't want to see changes at the last minute. That's all.
Yeah.
This is
I
the one
think-
we had last year.
Oh.
What?
This is the one we had last year.
This is the article that you had last year. It wasn't exactly what we wanted, but I'm willing to go along with this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I think, because then I think you'll keep up the spirit of what we're trying to do with
Right.
it.
Yes.
and not-
Right, so that's why
Yes.
we were gonna keep this instead of going through legal and everything else
Perfect.
again,
Gotcha.
the whole thing.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you have a consensus, sir. And Deb, sorry.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
We're done.
It's like-
Thanks.
Thank you. Up next, discuss an issue, cable equipment capital reserve fund withdrawal request. Is Drew coming out to present it, or?
I can certainly knock on his door and see if he'll.
Okay. Drew, if you're listening, yeah, okay.
On the other side.
Thank you, sir.
This was there's a server that we were going to replace anyway, and it said, no, you're going to replace this now. So we had to do it. It failed in late September, and because they don't have them on shelves anymore, they have to actually go out and build the thing. We just got it a couple weeks ago. So now we have captioning and a few other things that we haven't even begun to scratch the surface of, but we're just glad we have it now. So we're trying to take it out of our capital reserve because it's a little unexpected for us. So that's the only request.
Any questions for Drew?
Nope.
Justin, what do we have in this fund?
Around $262,000.
Awesome. I'm good to go.
Just one other thing that has nothing to do with this. December 13th, between 12 and 2, Santa will be at the Access Center. He'd be there longer, but he's busy or something. I don't know. So, but anyway, just want to let everyone know that. Thank you.
Motion to approve order 2025-19.
Second.
A motion from Ted, second from Sean. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes in the affirmative.
So for your guys' reference, or for everybody's references, this is that 32,500 warrant article that comes from Comcast. That's what's this fund.
Awesome.
All right, up next is the budget workshop. Mr. Mahan, do you want to start us off, or?
Yes,
Okay.
this is an opportunity for you to ask questions about the budgets that are specified in the agenda. Police Department, Planning Building, Finance Assessing, and Human Resources.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we go one by one? Why don't we start off with police, since they're here and been waiting very patiently? Anybody, Budget Committee or Town Council, have any questions for police?
I'm gonna have questions once we know what the budget cuts are gonna be looking like next time. So I don't have any questions at this point.
Okay.
For any of that.
Welcome, sir.
Why, hello. Good evening. How is everybody? That good? All right. There's no excuse for, some delay here, so let's get after it. What we got?
Who wants to start off with questions?
I don't have any.
Wow.
I'm pretty clear. I thought your budget looked fine from the get-go.
I think we gathered some, didn't we, from our last meeting? Like, I don't know
We
if
discussed-
police had any, but
I mean, I was just about your question about the lighting.
Oh, yes, of course.
that's right.
Yes, yep. So this is not, I think, well, I'll just get right to the point. In our last Budget Committee meeting, we discussed some other departments talking about lighting, and it was brought to my attention that you've actually implemented LED lighting a couple of years
Yes.
ago. So we were curious, have you actually been able to see any positive utility cost impact from them?
Yes, so we have, great question, we have, but as you folks know, every time you try to make a cut in the savings, the rates go up. So it kind of feels like it's, I mean, it's true, right? I mean, it happens to you folks at home, it happens to us here in the municipality. So we look at those things. We have the timers on in the hallways, so that way, when the last person's out, it automatically shuts off after a few minutes. We've tried to do a lot of things like that to be conservative. Even over the last several years, Patrick, we've changed ceiling tiles out to make them more insulated versus the cheap contractor grade that we got 21 years ago that are not good. So we've done things like that. And we've also tinted some of the windows to kind of keep the heat out, to keep the AC down. So we're constantly trying to find ways to save, even though it may not be a lot. But when people don't realize that the police department's electric bill is between $5,200 to $6,000 a month, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of your taxpayers' dollars. It's not like a $400 or $500 electric bill at home. You know, we're running large buildings 24/7, and it's our responsibility to find ways to save. So yes, we have done that. We've reduced it to LED, and even getting rid of these things that are not efficient anymore to the flatter, more efficient ones.
Yeah, and so the discussion that we were having was just, we were wondering, could we use you as sort of a reference when other departments say
Absolutely.
we want to do this and this?
Absolutely.
And so we were just curious, like how much, I know it's difficult because
Yes.
you look at the electrical bill and it's a total number.
Yep.
But have you been able to somehow figure out, yep, those LED upgrades or the ceiling tile upgrades are saving us a little
So,
money?
in reference to a breakdown like that, I think what we'd have to do is go back to Eversource and see if they could give us the kilowatt, maybe look at that portion of it to see what it has decreased from back. I would say we started this in 2021, 22 maybe, as we first started doing the projects like this. So we could potentially go back and try that. We'll have one of our representatives reach out and see if there's anything we can do to get an estimate for you.
I'd be happy to help with that, to not take up too much of your time.
Is coffee always on? By all means. Listen, you bring the donuts and I'll bring the statistics.
Yeah, certainly the hard part is Eversource only keeps like online statements for like a 12-month to 18-month period. So you
Oh,
actually
really?
have to
Yeah,
call
with- yeah.
them to get a much further date
Right.
back.
I mean, they do. I mean,
What
we
usage?
all do these at home too, right? We like the old style light bulbs, but then the LEDs, it takes people getting used to it. One of the things that obviously, as you folks all know up here, these things generate a lot of heat and they crank. So when we have a building that's open 24/7, we have lighting on all the time. Unlike your homes where you shut it down at night to go to sleep, they don't sleep over here. So the lights are on, it's still working. But great idea, and we can check it out.
Deb.
Well, hi, Mr. Bernard.
Hello, Ms. Bowles. Wow. How are you?
This isn't really a budget question.
Okay.
But it's something that I saw that's going on in Hudson.
Okay.
And I wanted to bring it to your attention so we as a town can be proactive and you can come up with a good idea.
Okay.
So one of the things is they all got the body cams.
Yep.
Then they're working well, but they ended up having to hire 2 people to actually go through all the tapes.
Sure.
So I'm wondering, have you thought about this? Because it was something they didn't even think about, like
Yeah.
who's going to go through all these tapes, what's important, what isn't, we got to get rid of all, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So I'm just bringing it up just to say, well, have you thought of it?
Yes.
And in the future, how are we going to handle that? And hopefully it,
So it is a great question, and it's a good idea to watch and see what other agencies and municipalities do when something is new. When something is new, we don't fully understand, you know, the full scope. We have an idea of the gist, and that's what happened when we first looked at this program, was how are we going to determine how many man hours, employee hours, are going to go into reviewing these tapes, or, you know, whatever you want to call them these days, the videos, right?
I don't know, I'm old.
Well, so am I.
Not as
So-
old as me.
So one of the things about that, Deb, was because it's going to be a cloud-based, so we're going to have restriction on who has access to this.
Right.
Our IT professional, he is one of them, and we also have the Professional Standards Bureau. That's our legal bureau. There will be a supervisor in that unit. So between the two of them, and potentially, depending on how much we have to review this stuff, we can bring in legal counsel for reviewing as well. As you are well aware, there are things that are going to be 91A requested. And those things will take time to review. Those will go through the legal process. We're hoping that one efficient person who is very diligent and quite capable to get through this will be enough. But like you said, Hudson has too. Agencies that we have spoken to said the same thing. It's a mounting task.
It is.
And
It is. And I just want to be proactive.
It
about
is.
it.
It's a good thing to look at. And from where you're sitting here, and budget committee members are sitting here, if I come back to you 2 years from now and I say I need another full-time person to help review these things, we don't know until we get a couple years under our belt. I'm sure we're going to make mistakes. I'm sure we're going to find shortcuts. But it's a great question, and
I'm just thinking, you know, of putting together policies and how we're going to handle it,
Yep.
how we're going to store
We already
it,
have all
what
those
we're going
things.
to
Yep.
keep, all of
Yep.
that stuff.
Sure.
And then, like you said, who's going to look at it? So if we have all of that in place,
Yep.
it's not crammed into.
Correct.
Oh my God, this is an issue. We need to take care
yeah,
of
we
it.
already have that in place. Our policies were put in place and vetted through our CLIA accreditation process, through our legal team, and all that. So that's already been done. We did that before we came to the Budget Committee and council members last year for the body-worn camera program. So, but great question. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I do. Going on over to the airport side of the budget.
Sure.
So, I guess I'm seeing a change in the budget of 125,500 from last year to this year.
Yep.
Can you explain more on that?
I wish I could cut Justin off here. My guess is it's going to be an increase in the insurances, the pay raises, and an increase, I believe, by 1, I think was the total number. So those are the contractual agreements.
Okay. And then I guess the other end of this may be a Justin question. I'm seeing on the over-under side of that spreadsheet, it's over by 18,800, but yet the proposed budget is less than the default. So wouldn't that be shouldn't we have brackets on the 18,000 instead? Seems a little confusing. If our proposed budget is less than the default budget, wouldn't that be bracketed?
The
at
MHT
18,000?
one?
On the revenue section there. The
So
miscellaneous revenue.
what you're looking at is the default budget does not have machinery and equipment as part of it.
Doesn't have what?
Doesn't have machinery and equipment. If you look at line 4740, there's 10,000 in there.
Yeah.
So that would be the negative 10,000. However, the increase is regarding health and dental insurance because we bill them on a group basis.
Uh-huh.
By that I mean we have 68 police officers. They account for 16 of them.
Right.
So we take a look at the total amount
Right.
and break that out. The reason there's a difference is the open positions in default are budgeted at a family plan
Yeah.
because we're legally required to offer a family plan if it's available.
Right.
The operating budget, because we have it all in one account, we're able to do a more conservative and break out the open positions based on what the actual usage is. So that's why you'll see the difference where it should be the way it is right now.
I guess, though, going back to my second question of, on that revenue line, that the proposed budget is less than the default budget, but yet your 18,800 is actually showing that it's over budget, not under budget. Do you guys understand what I'm looking at?
Yeah.
Every other time where the proposed budget is less than the default, it'd be showing as a bracketed number.
So this is saying that default is 18,000 over your budget.
The
but
answer
it's
is
not.
because it's revenue, yes, you are correct. Yep.
Okay.
Because it's revenue, typically we don't have, if you were to look at the other revenue lines, there is no default versus operating. But because this is fully paid for by the airport, there is a difference in what revenue we will receive. Because if the default budget passes, it's going to be based on the family plans, where if the operating budget passes, it's going to be based on the breakout. You're seeing that difference in the revenue, just the revenue, because of that area. When I did the formulas out in this, I did it as though it was an expenditure for this, because historically, like I said, not historically, with revenues, there is usually no default because it is the estimated revenue we're expecting. Where this is a revolving fund and it is going to be self-sustaining, the difference in default and difference in operating does result in a difference in the revenue that we're expecting. So
Gotcha.
that is yes.
Because it's a revenue number, technically it's the other way around for that equation. Okay, then I'm good now.
Ted, you want to get those Eversource bills and come with me? Put your eyes on it, you know? It might be helpful for me.
Chief, you said 21, right?
21 what?
Was
I'm
when
sorry.
you did the LED?
I believe so, yeah.
So looking quickly, 21, they spent about 65,000, and last year they spent about 55,000.
So even with the increases you saved, good job.
Well, thank you. Always trying to save a buck here and there, you know?
Any other questions for police?
I do.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
make it budget related for my own rule.
Okay.
So,
It's all good, Sarah.
so Rio
Yeah.
is.
Your favorite, we know.
Yes. He's still being paid for, not by the taxpayer, correct?
Yes, what Rio, Rio, that little fella, we get a lot of donations for Rio for some reason. You know, we get checks from companies who want to donate to him. And I don't want to brag, but he's got more money than most people do in his debit card account for Rio. His vet bills, the grooming, that's all taken care of locally here. And I won't forget, the first day we brought him in, you got to hold him. And I don't think you can, Sarah, I don't think that's happening anytime soon, though. He's getting to be really big now. But no, what we did 2 years ago in the budget cycle was we increased our canine line. We had been budgeted, don't quote me, but I think it was like 2,500, and that wasn't enough to sustain one dog at the time. So what we did was we ate that through other lines in our budget until we were able to find the appropriate time to make those changes to support the 2 patrol dogs. And those dogs are both under our budget line now. But Rio he's a freebie. He's a freebie.
Thanks.
You're
I just
welcome.
wanted to hear about Rio.
He's cool. I mean, he's got his own car. He does. He's cool.
Any other questions? Good, sir.
I just want to make one quick observation, just to acknowledge. Based on the numbers that I see in the budget, you're up, your fiscal year 27 proposed is up 2.7% over 2026, whereas the 12-month period for the Bureau of Labor Statistics, CPIU, is 3%. So you're under that, so.
Thank you for pointing that out. Thank you.
And that's all just stuff that's federally mandated and contractual, like you told us.
Their increase is correct. We didn't ask for any lines to be adjusted this year. As I said earlier, there are some that I'm slightly over a couple, $2,000 or $3,000 here or there, and some that I'm under a couple, $3,000, $5,000 here or there. And I think to go through that and shift them all, I think I don't want to say that it's a waste of time. Anytime we can save money and realign or reallocate is important. But I think, as I've asked this year, in the last 4 years up here, to help fix these lines so they're finally true, so we don't have to play these shell games that we've been accustomed to since 2012.
Any other questions from police?
Okay, well, I'm going to close with this. I appreciate the support that the Budget Committee and the Town Council and our Finance Department and Town Managers have given us. It's never easy to sit up here and try to explain every single line. We have 90 lines in the Police Department. And, you know, I firmly believe that we take a very mature, strategic, financial responsibility approach to this. The command staff is here with me tonight, as you all see here, because they too find this serious. We dedicate a lot of this on their shoulders as well. So when these men behind me, when we have our weekly meetings and our monthly meeting on Wednesdays, and we talk about things as you all have brought up, we look at this as in the whole. It's not just my responsibility, because we all lead the financial responsibility and burden of your police department. So they continuously come to me as well with ideas and ways, as you all do here too. So I appreciate the input, I appreciate the recommendations, and I'm sure I'll be back here in a couple weeks for follow-up.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Up next, any questions for planning and building? Ms. Karen would love the questions if you have any. None? All right. Next, finance and assessing for Justin. Any questions for Justin? Wow. All right. Up next, human resources. Any questions for Tara?
This I'm just hoping for a refresher.
Okay.
Where the head count came from within the prior budget.
So the regular salaries, one position was budgeted in the town manager and the other one was budgeted in finance.
In finance?
Yep.
You good, Ryan, or you want to follow up?
That's $243,000 of salary.
Good. Anybody else? All right. That concludes the budget workshop. So give the budget committee a couple minutes.
Just a couple things before you go.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
if you look in the agenda packet for the next meeting,
Yep.
it's got some adjusted numbers in there. There's an updated PowerPoint presentation in there, because now we have the tax rate, obviously, for '25. So if you get a chance to look at that before, obviously, for next Monday, it's all, you have all updated information in there.
Thank you.
When will we, I know that there was that $400,000 cut that you talked about. When are we going to see the next week?
Yep, next Monday.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
So I also just want to point out that, as has been normal practice, I mean, you guys saw the 5-6 people that the police brought up before. Those new hires have different costs than what is budgeted, so we're going to make the adjustments for that based on the plans they choose for health insurance, dental, as well as what they come in at.
And Mr. Chair, I'd like to request for next meeting us to discuss purchasing policy. I think it's important that we refresh and go through that. I have some draft language I can send out to the rest of the council, but I'd like to add that for
Okay.
discussion next meeting.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to wrap my head around this. Top line salaries in the finance department is going down 32,500 from the 26 budget. And the town manager, top line salaries is going down 59,600.
So
Can-
it's a net effect, so what's happening is that the line is also accounting for the raises people are getting.
I get that.
And then also decreasing from the people who are being moved out from that department. So for instance, in the finance department, we have one person being moved out to the HR department.
Yep.
So that goes down, but at the same time, union agreements and contractual agreements, other people's salaries are going up. So the net effect is that amount.
Okay, so I understand I understand that conceptually. But I'm having a hard time, and maybe it does add up. Maybe if you can just send me a breakdown of 26 salaries, 27 salaries by department, so I can,
Which departments would you like?
just those three, so
Okay.
manager, finance, and HR.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So just to get back, so you requested, you want to do a purchasing, you want to review the current purchasing policy, or you want to?
Yeah, I
set
want to
up a-
discuss changing the purchasing policy, and we can discuss that next.
Okay.
I have some draft language I can send out to the rest of the council.
Okay.
So just to reiterate, the policy of the council is that an agenda request form is submitted to the council.
Yeah, we can,
And
we can
that's-
put it on a future agenda.
Right.
Yeah, that's,
And that's an administrative code provision.
yeah. I got that along with Deb's, review, so we can do both of those. We'll put them on a future agenda. All right, up next is approval of consent items. Accept the motion to accept the consent items.
So moved.
Motion by Ted.
Second.
Second by Sean. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes in the affirmative. Liaison reports.
From the school district, I went to their meeting last Tuesday. They presented the initial presentation for their budget. They'll be having further conversation on their budget, I believe, this week and the following weeks in December. And as well, they had also spoke later on in the meeting about, I guess the state is looking at potentially, there's some some bills at the State House potentially of doing a tax cap on school districts. And they had done a presentation upon what they know so far and how those equations would potentially affect Londonderry. And so it could be very detrimental to us, but also it could be put us on a roller coaster path financially, up and down every year, depending upon what our population is in the school districts, which I think is not prudent for the town to be able to forecast wisely in the future. So,
Okay. Any other liaison reports? No. Okay. Town manager report.
I have nothing else to add.
All right. This is the town manager report.
All set.
All right. I will open public comment. Good evening.
Robin Stewart, Mammoth Road. Dan, thank you for saying what you said. It is important that we keep some kind of ethics going around here, and I think that we drop it quite a bit. I'm more than concerned about tonight because one of the things of all the meetings that we've been to, and I've been to several that you've been to, the one over at the church, and people keep saying the same thing. There's backroom things going on. You guys make decisions before you come to meetings. We have no input. And that appears to be exactly what happened tonight. The town voted out Mr. Farrell from office for whatever reason. I have no idea what people voted him out for. But for you guys to go ahead and just ignore that and to appoint him when we've seen his behavior be questionable, his decision-making be questionable, and it just so happened that today I read the tax agreement for over at Woodmont just this afternoon. And you all know that. You all know that the town is standing here, the residents, and they're saying, enough, we don't want this anymore. We want people to make good decisions. And yet this is what you did. No explanation, no reason for what you do, just ignoring everything that we have come to you and said. That's really disappointing, and it's kind of shame on you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I want to add one thing. Sorry, I kind of lost it earlier, but there's a lot of things going on that the public needs to know, and I felt it was appropriate to let the public know. And yeah, that's all I can say.
Anybody else in public comment? Good evening, sir.
The only thing I'm going to say is I thought it was interesting that guys went to boards for their recommendations, but you completely missed the planning board's recommendation. Because the planning board recommended something different. Planning board's recommendation only would have left one alternate position to be filled. Somehow the liaison of the planning board totally missed that. Just missed it. It was a 20-minute conversation.
So if you go back and watch the video, the recommendation actually was for current members only, and I specified that during the meeting. It's on the video. You can go back and watch that. So they did not make comment on any of the applicants.
They recommended that an alternate be moved up to a full-time position, You chose to keep that alternate at an alternate. So I did watch the tape. In fact, it's on my website. I watched it several times. And there's probably going to be a couple more videos after tonight because I absolutely believe what the resident behind me just said. There's backroom deals going on. For instance, I was in the Conservation Commission for 9 years. Not conservation, recreation. Reason I got off is because I saw the direction it was going. That commission doesn't make any rules. They're told what to do. I just heard tonight that there's been discussion, and I've missed a couple meetings, but there's been discussion about expanding that. And it seems like a whole lot of people up here know about it. Residents don't know. So you say you want people to come up and talk, and you want to listen, and we get these videos, and yep, we want to listen, and it's thank you. Nope. Rubber stamp. Dan was right.
Thank you. Anybody else? Seeing none, I will close public comment. And I have a quick question for the town manager. Are we going to adjourn when we're going to non-public, or do we not adjourn?
No, you go into non-public,
Yeah,
because it's
so-
not a non-meeting legal counsel, it's a non-public.
Okay. So I don't have that.
So it's 91A3:2, subsection A. That would be the motion
91A.
that you would go under.
Colon. Repeat that one more time.
Yeah, 91A, :3,
Yep.
paragraph 2,
Oh,
subsection A.
All right, the council is now going to go into 91-A:3, paragraph 2, subsection A, for a non-public discussion.
You have to do a motion and a roll
Oh,
call.
I will accept the motion.
So moved.
A motion from Dan?
We need to have a roll call vote.
Okay. I need a second first.
Second.
A second from Ted?
Aye, Ted Combs.
Hi, Sean Faber.
Aye, Ron Dunn.
Aye, Dan Bouchard.
I, Deb Paul.
So just to be clear, and then you're done for the night, you're not going to come back in here again, so people don't need to wait around, you're going to adjourn.
So thank you.
Hey,